So I close the curtains over and I lock the door.
Basically, we'll get like a bit of a history for some of the folks that know who you are, or some that don't, and you can basically kind of just let them know who you are.
Yep.
And I like to go a bit of how you started with the music. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
It's quite a story, but it's really worth the people understanding that sometimes it's not always the way people,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah, there's still different ways, I guess, that when the one door closes, as I said, the other one opens. But in different ways it can be. So, yeah. So you want me to talk about it now?
Yeah, we'll start with your name, and then where you're from, and then your story.
Yeah, my name is, as an artist, I'm called Sean C. Kennedy, from the west coast of Scotland. I've been coming to this lovely place, Sonic Vista Studios, for the past 3 or 4 years, on and off. Yeah, so I'm a singer-songwriter, kind of country pop, a little bit of rock. Just finished a debut album, which will be released summertime. So,
can you tell us the name?
It's not 100%.
No, it's better that you hold back.
Yeah,
then
of course.
We'll tell them to look for it.
Yes, it's, the signs are slowly appearing. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's going to be a cool time. I'm looking forward to getting the album out. It's been a long time, a good year and a bit. So, yeah.
So a little bit about then how you got started in the music, or what brought you to this point where you are with the music.
Yeah. So I used to play soccer as a professional, and I discovered this strange injury that appeared from nowhere, a wear and tear thing. And it turns out I had a defect inside my bone in my knee, and I went for a consultation. The doctor says, "Oh, your knee is unhealthy. We have to try and help it." So one operation to try and let the blood regenerate in the bone and make it stronger again. For 6 months, 8 months, it was good, and I warmed up at the side of the park one day, and my knee just locked. So what had happened? I had to try and a little bit of bone came away from the joint. I had to get that taken out, and the only way to move forward was to have another operation and make sure that arthritis wasn't going to affect my life, kind of thing. Being a young guy at the age of 21, so I had this large operation called a stem cell operation from cartilage that was growing, and we had the big operation. 1 year later, it turned back into bone. So during that time, my feet was up, and I decided to play some guitar, and discovered that I had a little bit of a voice, a singing voice. So I kind of worked on that, and I started to slowly evolve and see that this was something that I could pursue and become. And after a couple of years, a year and a half, I got into a band and learned the trade as a frontman and how to move, and the guitar became my companion after that, where I relied on the guitar to sing along. And I left the band, started as a singer-songwriter, and I basically just learned listening to American artists and people that inspired me as a kid growing up. Music lived inside me, but I just didn't see it as in I could be one of those people that could express myself through singing or playing guitar. It was just, so it'd been living inside me for that long, and I thought it's on its way out, so let's just go with it. And then just over time, decided to take it more serious and record songs, more writing and listening and singing, discovering what my voice was after a good 2-3 years. And now I released an EP in 2012. Album's now finished.
The EP was titled what?
It was called Love Don't Live Here in 2012. It's on Spotify and iTunes. So now the album, that's been the long process in the last year. So I'm just really excited to get it out into the universe and move on to the next thing and just keep going. Yeah.
What keeps you pumped up and inspired and moving towards this new, because you've taken a change in career course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So now you have different goals and dreams. What's that thing that you're driving towards?
When you start out as a singer-songwriter, you're influenced by some artists that are maybe not as well-known or mainstream, but there are mainstream artists you listen to and you see, oh, maybe I could be one of them, or I would like to be them. And some people think fame or it all comes with, I would like to be at the top, I would like to be as well-known as I can throughout the world, or that would be beautiful if that worked for everyone, and that would be like a bonus, I guess. But for me, it's just I have a more understanding of who I am as a person, and I would just like to just put music out, and if people hear it, then I'm happy enough. If someone comes up to me after a show and says, oh, that song reminded me of a friend or a family friend, or and thank you for it, that makes my job worthwhile. But I would just like to get it out to as many people as possible in the world. Just want to be heard, because I do believe, although I love to perform, I do think that it helps people, whatever lyrics. It might not help some people, but maybe if there's one person in the crowd and it does its job and it changes their life or something, and they pass it on to someone else, then it's cool. Just be heard for what I do. It's a healing kind of thing.
It's a healing, isn't it? And you're a part of that.
Sound,
healing.
The melody,
That's the really powerful thing. We were talking a little bit earlier, and you said that you'd been to Nash Vegas.
Yes, Nash Vegas.
For some of those who don't know, Nashville is not Nash Vegas because it's pretty much Vegas. And you had some insights you learned from some older people in the business, some insights. Yeah. Pass on some of those pearls to maybe some of the younger people in the business about what really, as an artist, you should be putting your focus into.
Yeah, I went over there last year for a few months, and only knew one or two people before I arrived, which is a scary thing when you go to a place that's unknown. But I was aware of the hospitality in Nash Vegas, as people welcome you in, or the way that people co-write, people, they bring you to their house, and they're basically strangers, and you work together and you create this song with someone that you've never met before, and anything you can do to just make something that's beautiful that will eventually either be a song for someone else or you that's going to possibly change someone's life or something. But yeah, met some amazing people, like songwriters, producers. A song that I grew up listening to as a young kid. I remember in the back of my parents' car, being 4 and 5 years old, that was a song from an amazing artist called Bonnie Raitt, beautiful slide guitar player. And it was a song called I Can't Make You Love Me. And it's a song that's always, I grew up listening to it, and it's always been that song that does something to me. Whether I was aware of what music really does, it just done something to me. I felt good. So I arrived in Nashville, and a friend introduced me to a producer in Nashville, and he was having a barbecue one night, and everyone was mingling, and this guy who turned out to be a producer, and he was just so interested to know about Scotland from where I'm from, and I went to talk to him about music because his experience. But it turns out that his best friend is the guy who wrote I Can't Make You Love Me. Wow. So I was like, looking up, the stars have lined up in a strange way, here we go. So we chatted, and he's like, yeah, I can possibly introduce you to, the guy's name was Mike Reid. I could introduce you to Mike Reid sometime. And I was like, wow, man, this is like, when you think something's so far away in the world that it's even like a dream, it's not that far away when you just take a step out the box. So yeah, and a few days before I left, I met Mike Reid, and we sat for an hour, and I went to his house and we spoke about it, and I just told him that the song meant so much to me growing up as a kid. So that was a cool experience. But it was loads of producers and songwriters, photographers. It was just really inspiring. So
that's really powerful. So I mean, what was it like even for him to have someone? I mean, his reaction to have someone coming all this way and being, "Hey, I found you. Thanks for inspiring."
It's one of the most covered songs in the last 10 to 15 years, and so many people like Adele has covered it. So I'm sure he's heard it a few times, like, oh, thank you for writing that song, it does mean so much for me. And I'm sure he's still grateful for every time, and hopefully appreciated what I said too. So, and I got to play him some of my own songs, which was cool. And he's like, wow, it's interesting. So there's a contact if maybe if I
But it was nice that you
yeah,
could
totally.
meet your-
Just that experience, whether something else comes out it, then who cares? It was good, and it was meant to be that way. So.
But I think even the power of how music can come full circle, because you never know who you are inspiring.
Yeah, totally. No.
And you've already done that for someone, and
Yes.
you don't even know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the power that we really have.
Yeah.
So, maybe is there something that you might want to say to your future listeners that are finding you for the first time? Maybe where they can go and find your work and download some info, you know, or buy your stuff and you know, book tickets for your next gig. How can they do that? Tell them.
So you can go to SeanCKennedy.com and you'll find links to Facebook, iTunes, where the music is. You can buy the music there. It's an EP. Spotify, YouTube, and all the other ones. Info for gigs and shows are on the website too. And there'll be some announcements for the date of the album release, which will be really, really cool. And hopefully you like it, and it does something to you. And yeah, good. So it's an exciting time. It's going to be fun.
Perfect.
It's always going to be fun.
Well, this has been a great interview. Hopefully we'll be able to catch a performance later.
Yeah, definitely. That's inevitable. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Kennedy.
Next one, man.
Nice one. We'll be seeing you on our next episode. Talk to you soon.